Hi, I'm Andrew Hosey.
I'm Lisa Straight.
And I'm Bryant Fox.
And welcome to Bachelor Middle School's video on school issues. In this video, we'll be talking about school violence, drugs and alcohol in the school system, and how students today have a lack of school spirit. Also in this video, we'll show you what Bachelor and students are doing to solve these problems.
The first segment of this video, which we will be talking about, is school violence and how to prevent it. Bachelor is not only trying to prevent weapons, gangs, and incidents like Columbine, but prevention of fights as well. Bachelor students are trying to increase the level of respect for their fellow classmates to create a friendlier environment.
To make Bachelor students safer, we have gotten involved in a program called peer mediation. Peer mediation is when students help other students solve their problems in a non-violent way. Also, to increase school safety, we have gone through a $2 million renovation. This renovation includes automatic locking doors and enclosed walls. Now let's go take a look at a short dramatization about how peer mediation works, followed by an interview with our school principal, Mrs. Peggy Chambers, on the automatic locking doors.
This is the weirdest thing that just happened to me.
I'm sick of you two.
You guys are dead.
Here at Bachelor, we have a better way to solve our problems.
Hey man, how you doing? The weirdest thing just happened to me the other day.
I'm sick of you two.
You guys are dead.
Stop!
You guys want a peer mediation? No, we don't need any peer
No.
mediators.
We'll help you solve your guys' problem.
Whatever. My name is Wes.
My name is Emily.
We need to know who's representing you guys.
I think you will.
Me. Okay, there's a few ground rules. No interrupting and no name calling.
No lying and fighting. Okay, it's fine.
What is your problem?
Sissy boy right into it.
Okay, stop. You just broke the no name calling ground rule. Again, what is your problem?
He keeps running into me. It's like every day he does it.
And your problem? He keeps running into me. Yeah, we're not doing anything.
What do you want them to do about it?
Stay out of my way.
Same here, I guess. You guys agree to stay out of each other's way?
Sure, yeah,
yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you guys have just solved your problem.
Okay, and what precautions has our school taken to ensure that school violence will not happen in the classrooms from this renovation?
Well, I think the renovation is just one part of what we're doing to ensure safety of students. And like everyone across the nation, we're very concerned about violence that occurs in the schools, whether it's from within, people who come here on a daily basis, or from intruders who might come into the building. The renovation gave us an opportunity to really look at our physical plant. And we saw that for the first time we had doors on classrooms instead of the open concept that we had for so many years. Now teachers keep those doors locked. We also have new doors coming into the building. All of our exterior doors now are much more safe than what we had. And we keep all of the outside doors locked as well so that we can monitor the people who come into the building during the day.
State Representative Peggy Welch was kind enough to come to the Bachelor Studios and tell us one of the reasons why she thinks that school violence has increased around the nation.
I just went to a meeting the other day that a gentleman who's a retired lieutenant colonel of the Army was talking about how violence is really increasing, and part of it is, and you may laugh at this, and some other kids that play video games, but video games really are contributing a lot to the violence that we have in our schools.
Hello, I'm John Mize here with
Ryan Chapman.
And Danny Dawson. This segment is about drugs and alcohol.
something that gets students involved in drugs and alcohol is peer pressure.
This is a problem that many teenagers will face.
In this segment, we will have clips of interviews with the MCCSC Drug Education Coordinator, Jennifer Staub, and the State House Representative, Ms. Peggy Welsh.
We will also have an interview with a victim of an accident that was caused by drugs.
And we will ask students why they choose not to take drugs and how peer pressure affects their life decisions.
Now let's take a look at these clips and a short skit about drugs and alcohol.
Now Jennifer, why do kids do drugs?
The fact is most kids don't do drugs. A lot of times they think that everybody does them, and so it's a perception that most kids use. But in reality, most kids don't. Those that do use it, and most often they say it's because they're bored, or say that there's just nothing that they feel like they connect to, and so they use it as kind of an out.
The governor has a task force that specifically deals with drug and alcohol, and with violence. So, and they're separate groups, but they also work together because all those things can go hand in hand. The task group that handles drugs and alcohol and smoking too, they are on top of all the legislation that goes through, and they are lobbying for certain things to be done or not done that would affect kids when it comes to drugs and alcohol.
The reason I don't use drugs or alcohol is because I think that I have a lot going for me when it comes to my future. I have a lot of plans for my future, and I don't want those plans to be ruined because I'm really looking forward to them.
The reason I've decided not to do drugs is I play a lot of sports and I'm real active, and the drugs will slow me down and make me perform less to my ability.
Peer pressure really hasn't affected me enough to do anything that I'd feel guilty about, but it definitely comes up when you go out with your friends and stuff. I mean, if you don't have good willpower, then you're just going to get sucked down into doing something that you really don't want to do.
We were on our way home from a wrestling meet, and a person high on drugs hit our car and fled from the scene. I had to go to the emergency room and get stitches in my head, and ever since then I will never be able to forget it, and now I see what people on drugs can do to other people.
I'm undefeated 4 seasons in a row, so ha ha ha. I already have Viola looking at me. I'm the best wrestler in the state right now. Probably in the nation pretty soon. Nothing can stop me now. Nothing.
Hey guys, we're Billy Conner. You guys still worried?
Hey, right there!
Right there! Right there! Billy, I'll stand up for you, bud. You're under arrest for possession of marijuana. I'm just going to figure out your chance behind your back.
Hi, I'm Anna Hosey here with Krista Coffey and Kelly Tuck. This segment will be about school spirit. Over the years, our school spirit has changed in various ways.
We are not just talking about cheerleading and going to school sporting events,
But we are talking about having school pride and participating in school clubs and activities. You may think that school spirit isn't as important as the other features,
but we feel that students who are active in school and feel a sense of belonging are less likely to abuse drugs and alcohol or act out in violent ways.
Now let's take a look at some interviews and clips on people discussing this issue and what Bachelor is doing about it.
Explain what spirit groups are and how they've created school spirit here at Bachelor.
The spirit groups are made up of cheerleaders and dancers. They're divided into 3 groups to support everyone. In the fall, they support the football team, cross country, and volleyball. And in the wintertime, they support boys basketball, girls basketball, and wrestling.
Can you explain how the spirit groups have given recognition to sports that may have not had any?
Yes, they make signs to put in the locker bay. They also make cards for the team, good luck cards. They'll show up at some of their events. And this past January, the girls showed up at 7:30 in the morning to support the wrestling team for an all-day Super 6 wrestling meet.
I think the school should reward the students who are involved in clubs and activities with letter sweaters that would help them show off their pride, and field trips, which would reward kids for putting in extra time.
The more positive things that kids can connect to, then the better off they'll be.
School spirit is created out of pride, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to feel proud of what we have here.
Hi, I'm Danny Dawson, BTV President.
And I'm Derek Mize, BTV Vice President.
And in conclusion of our video, we'd like to thank you for your time. And we hope that more students will now participate in school activities and not get pulled down into the world of violence that we live in today.
People who take pride in themselves and their schools are more likely to live a happier and more successful life.
This is Danny Dawson
And John Eric Mize, signing out.